Hello everyone, today I will be showing you how to install Docker and Portainer on any of your Linux machine, home media server, or even any of your cloud instances. So majority of the cloud instances they also run on the Linux, so the procedure will be the same. Either you're using services from Linode, AWS, or Hetzner, and but if you are using Linux, Ubuntu, or any other distribution, steps should be the same. So right now what I will be using is the EC2. EC2, Amazon EC2 is free for everyone for 12 months. And per month it allows you to use up to like 750 hours or 750 hours per month of Linux or Red Hat Linux Enterprise. So you can install any OS you want on it. So I'm running EC2 and right now I'm using it to run Pi-hole. As you can see, if I copy this and paste it in a new tab. Yeah, this EC2 instance is running Pi-hole and it is only accessible by my base IP. No any other IP can use this instance. So procedure will be very simple. All you have to do that you will have to log in into your Linux instance or Linux machine or Linux server, Linux home media server by any of its public IP or local IP. Okay, so here I'll be showing you. I've already saved my this PC Amazon EC2 cloud instance credential and IP here. So here I'm in login. So for installing Docker, procedure is very simple. You can Google on like how to install Docker on Ubuntu, and you can go to docs.docker.com and follow the steps. So these are the requirements. Either it could be a Ubuntu or any other Linux instance, like Linux Mint or Red Hat, no problem. So for setting up the repository, first I will have to run this command. You can also run this if you haven't run this within a while. So first let's run this. I'm already updated. And run this one. Okay, no zero upgrade, you don't need to install. Set everything is already installed. And then run this Docker official GPG for security purpose. Okay. And then for setting up the repository, it's also done. And let's install the Docker engine. So everything is very simple. The main thing is that we will not be using Docker CLI for composing the containers. We'll be using the Portainer. So it will help us to use GUI version. It will keep all of our containers. Uh, okay, so for checking that if the Docker has been installed, we need to run this command, or we can also check the Docker version installed. Hello from Docker. Here it is. The output hello from Docker means the Docker has been installed. So for Portainer, we'll be going to search Portainer installation Ubuntu, then go to the first search of portainer.io. So first you have to create a volume where will be where the Docker will be using or storing all the data for this container is done. And now let's run the command to install our Portainer. It will be using port 9000. So we can access once it installed, we can access this locally on the port 9000. Okay, so looks like it has been installed. And now we will copy this IP. Okay, the problem that I'm not able to access my container at this port 9000 is that I have not added this port to be available to be accessed as an inbound by any network. So for that, if you are using any of the cloud instance or if you're using any of your Linux machine, if it's not being done locally, then you'll have to forward this port 9000. So if you're using AWS, then all you have to do, you will have to go into security either from here, or you can also go into security either from here. So right now it's not able to access, but once I add this port to my security to inbound rules, custom TCP that I will be using, port number will be 9000 for Portainer, and it could be accessed by anyone. And I can also write Portainer for just for memory. Save rules. Yeah. As soon as I've created, it is able to access. Yeah. So our Portainer instance has been timed out and we need to restart it. For that, we can go again into our FFH terminal and use let's see if it's working now. Can we see the Docker start Portainer? And so I'll be using username as I'm not gonna ask for anything. Create user. Pass to required characters file. Okay, so the Portainer has been set up, and here we can see our environment, users. Here, right now we have 3 containers, but only one Portainer, which we are currently using. It's framework. We can check about our host, which machine we are using, which version of Ubuntu we are using, total CPU, total memory. So you can also update, like if I click on Portainer, and from there I can check the logs. I can even go into the terminal. From here we can add the stacks for composing different containers. So let's try to add a container. Let's try to add jacket. We'll be adding jacket. Yes. Jacket is used for automate or handling of torrents. It can also get integrated with the radar sonar to search for torrents. So we can use either Docker Compose from here, we can copy it from here and paste it. Rather than we can set the parameter by ourselves. So we will be using this option to add container. Okay. So let's first name it circuit. And we will be using this name circuit here. Confirm. We have circuit over. Okay. And what we require from here is a config volume, is PUID, PID, PGID. Okay. So for doing this, creating this config volume, either we can do it automatically, or we can create our volume first from here, then add our volume from here. So let's do that one. First we create a new volume and set it. Let's go config. Yeah, unused. Then we go back to container, add container. Okay, copy this name. Yeah. Then we have to tell the ports. You can give it any port you want. Okay. 9117, or you can choose any one of you want. 117. Okay, so I'm choosing this one, these ports, 917. Okay. And now add the volumes which we created. Here. For volume we have to use this slash config. Here. On network we will keep the settings same. For environment we require environment are the ones in which we see there's in starting there is an E. Okay, so PUID should be 1000, PGID is 1000. 1000 ID 1000. It also depends on your own ID, the person or the user who is using this instance, his own user ID and GID. And we need time zone. I will be using Asia, actually, and auto update. So this is optional. And one more thing for restart policy, and let's start. And more volume is required is downloads. Even if we not created, it will get created automatically. Or we can give it a path like /home. So right now I'm in Chrome Ubuntu. I can maybe create address. Copy this. And now let's deploy the container. Search image, check it. Looks like we have done a mistake. So it will be Linux server / check it. So container successfully created, and it will be running on port 9117. And port 9117 will copy this IP and go to 9117. As usual, we have to open a port, write it in now, and port 9117 or anyone, and it will be using. And let's check. Yeah, so jacket is running on our this EC2 instance. We can add an indexer here. So what I will be using on the public one, like 13371. I can add it like one by one, or I can select them and then add selected. Yeah,